What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. For those who do not know, my diffuser took a L because I hit a chain on the highway, broke all my mounts off, and it was kind of hanging on the car. Same with this side. So luckily, like I said, I was able to recover it. It was holding on by these two screws. Obviously this thing is expensive, so I'm gonna try to fix this. Even when I was aired up all the way, this thing would still scratch pretty bad. So that's not from that. But we're gonna be fixing all this, hopefully.
Let's go to an island where the water around is blue, blue, blue. I got two bad bitches in the coupe, 42 in the bottle, glasses on full too. Ain't no games, I ain't playing, I want you, yeah. Take a trip, let's go shopping.
Car is filthy. So basically getting to the next step. Oh shit. So the resin is cured, hard as a rock. We also did this spot in here. So that's the inside. So you can see here the second layer is already coming up. So we have to cut that piece.
I need my chairman, he always gon' remind. I had to bust out some rats for the one time. Think I'm flexing, I only do sometimes. I need a big gas on my wrist like it's lunchtime. I had to bust out some racks. So many fakes, so I can't get attached. I'm a Carolina boy, now we up on the map. But it's her, she a fan, I won't get on my lap. No, I'm the kid, it's just hop on the spaz on the track. Never lying, they know that's a fact. I had to bust out some racks. A girl on my line, but I never be here in the back. Bust on the road, but I got back on track. Let me switch and I'm knowing the cap. I got back up, so no, I won't scrap. Can put us on safety, we pop like a strap. About to blow it, they hate it. About to chill cause these girls overrated. They say that I'm flowing, they put me on playlists. I be rocking off white like I'm racist. I do what I want with my life with the matrix. Be too deep in my thoughts, I be jaded. Forget your opinion, don't need to be graded. I play in that work, they didn't see, but I waited. Gotta hop in the store and go make a song. About to blow so they know we can make a bond.
So here's the side we already did. Pretty smooth. Still gotta sand it a lot more, but
I can miss you, I'm chasing this money. You work for a goal and they start acting funny. Whenever change, I'm always with my dogs. Yeah, we can hang it for vibes enough. I be rhyming all the time, taking off. RPX, I be dripping like Voss. Yeah, we be chill till these people get lost. She a baddie from Apex, she liking my style. I'ma need me a show to go lighter the crowd. We be turning up lately, so what's going down?
I just finished up sanding. All these areas are pretty smooth. This one's still really tricky. I knew it was gonna be, because this crack right here is starting to lift up again. But like this spot, that all looks good. This corner's nice and smooth now. But obviously the goal is to put a whole new sheet of carbon fiber over this whole thing. I think I'm gonna throw a little bit of paint on here just so this green's not showing through. Cause I'm trying to get this finished up. I'm tired of this sitting around, you know, in the garage just chilling. I want it back on the car.
Put it together, I've been ever so I step out like a plane. Yeah, we hit the block, get the cheddar. I keep the door and came up off a stain. I'm just trying to see more honest. Jump out the porch.
So like I said, just a really light coat just to cover up some of that green. And that's just in case with the carbon fiber, if there's some holes or it gets stretched a little bit, it won't show green through it. So again, you can see it's not perfect. I knew it wasn't gonna be, but the resin should even out a lot of this after I put that first layer on. So I'm gonna let this paint dry. We'll come back in like 30 minutes and then we're gonna throw on the first coat of resin.
Is a product of certain cycles. The cycles of the sun, the cycles of the earth.
We must pay homage to him.
Bro, you can't tell. Where do you guys see that he damaged the carbon fiber? Can you tell? Can you tell where he damaged it? Cause I sure hell can.
This is gonna be on the bottom. Nobody's gonna see this, right? So does it really make sense to put new carbon fiber on this? Does it? Because once we put 2 coats of the resin and we sand it, it's gonna look brand new. It just won't be perfect, but it'll look good.
Bro, I would not put carbon over this. It's already looking good. Look at that. Once this heals and he sends it down and fixes all the imperfections. Bro, you high.
Like we just said, we're debating on putting the carbon fiber or not. I think it looks pretty good already. We have the carbon fiber right here, but does it make sense to waste it when this is just gonna get scratched up again? I say no, because this looks pretty damn good. Alright, so quick update. I've been letting the epoxy sit for about 2 hours. It's pretty sticky right now. So if I was gonna be doing the carbon fiber on top, this is when I would be doing it. Alright, so we're back the next morning. Ooh, it looks so good. Oh my goodness. Wow. So you can see some spots where the epoxy kind of like dragged down a little bit, but this was just the first coat. 100% not doing the carbon fiber. I'm not going to waste it. So the next step is going to be to sand this a little bit, kind of knock down some of these hot spots. Got some hair in there a little bit, and then we'll do another layer. Looks brand new. That is crazy. Alright, so I'm going to kind of do two things at once, y'all. So while that's drying, I had this crazy idea. Not really crazy, but this lower diffuser that I got on here, this lower piece that I have painted black, I'm gonna wrap that in carbon fiber, kind of while I'm in this whole mood of doing carbon. And I got the epoxy out, might as well. Alright, so we got the bumper off. So this is what I'm talking about, this black piece on the very bottom of the bumper. This is what I'm gonna put epoxy on, and I'm gonna wrap this in carbon. So basically I'm gonna clean this up, sand it, make sure everything looks good, and then I'm gonna tape off this area all the way across, and then put release so the epoxy doesn't stick to this, so I can at least peel it off. And then after that, we're basically just gonna form the carbon on top of this black part, let it cure, and then we'll be able to peel it off and trim it, and then we'll have a carbon lower diffuser. So that's what I'm gonna do in the meantime while the other piece is drying in there. Alright, so I'm gonna hit it with a sanding block just to get all the scratches and stuff off, because this lower piece was painted. I didn't wrap it, it's paint. So this first layer of epoxy is going to kind of be the glue for the carbon fiber to stick to the material. So that's why you have to wait for about 2 hours for it to get sticky. And then right before, obviously, it hardens completely, you lay down the carbon fiber and it'll stick to the epoxy and it kind of bonds. You want the primary face to kind of be the flat side, because this is the side you're going to see the most right here. So I need to lay that facing up. So it has been way longer than 2 hours. It's been like maybe 4 hours, and this stuff is still, supposedly you're supposed to be able to put a fingerprint on here, and if it leaves fingerprint then you're good, but I feel like it's still a little bit runny. But I don't know how much longer I can wait, honestly. I've been waiting for like 5 hours now. So it's time, we're about to do this for real. So we got it cut out. Like I said, it's good to have tape on the edges just in case it frays. So I have it all, so you can see right there, that's what it looks like when it frays. You don't want that.
Tryna be what I'm dreaming. Can't fall asleep, I ain't eating.
is starting to lift up a little bit. I was wrong. So I'm gonna try to spray some spray adhesive under here just to give it a little bit more bond. So I'm gonna use some Gorilla Glue spray adhesive. Should have kind of done that before I laid the whole thing, but we're gonna fix it up right now. So the glue worked. The glue saved my ass, honestly. I sprayed it pretty heavy in this area, so this is for the most part laying down now. And obviously if I need to come back and work it again before the next layer of epoxy, that's not a big deal. Alright, so this is the part that I can't really get to stay because I couldn't get glue up in here, but I'm gonna kind of just put this as some support for that area so it'll keep it pushed down. Everywhere else seems to be holding pretty well. This, I tried my best. It kind of bunched up down here, but again, that's gonna be underneath the car. You're not gonna see it. So yeah, I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, then I'll come back and check on it. So I'm ready to be done for the night. I'm gonna lay this layer on here, and then we'll check on it in the morning. All right, so it's like day 243. We're still at it. I'm sanding this away. Like I said, I had some lumps in here. I don't know what really caused it. I'm sure it's just because the epoxy underneath wasn't cured all the way. Some of these areas still didn't want to stick down, but can't do anything about it at this point, so just got to keep going. But yeah, I mean, it's coming together. There's a lot of steps involved in this. You got to watch it almost 24/7. So keep that in mind if you're trying to do something like this. You can't just let it sit. You got to be watching it all the time. So I sanded that down pretty good. Now I'm doing a wet sand. You can see it's looking pretty shiny now. But I was thinking about doing another coat of epoxy. I'm probably not, honestly, because it's just going to be a whole nother waiting process. I am for sure going to do it on the top edge where I had the little drips. But for right here, I'm just gonna wet sand and then polish.
Let me sip on my tropical juice and let me smoke this tropical weed. B, I got the maddest of flavors. Don't think that the shit comes cheap. So bitch, don't moan when I charge 15 for a D. Just a little nigga in his zone. Grind hard, can't stay on these streets. Mish mash and I'm doing it all. Dip splash and I'm getting in peak. I'm in the field all day. No time for these stupid neeks. Come, bitch, come my way. Just watch how veteran speaks. Tooled up on the left for my prey. The Wiggins don't want me to eat. Man, the hood's all mad. I wish I could just make my pee, but these bitches on me, so you know I can't lack. The Jake boy's really on my back. Got me in and out of court, got me feeling a twat. And it's all my fault, cause I'm always getting caught like I'm better than that. The feds got like 10 of the gang. 3 R1, 3 Max, 3 Taz. Rest in peace with my brothers. RP Jets, RP T bands. I built a sweet one with a mean kickback.
Okay, so this is the second coat of epoxy. You can see the ripples are a lot less noticeable now. Definitely gonna need one more coat of this, but you can see just by doing the second coat, it helped a whole lot.
In and out with the gorgeous thing, that was an amazing round. What you do with that shit? I didn't even make a sound. Couple draw outs came in, now we gotta take them out. Don't slip, come on niggas got it no doubt. Stay stocked up real shit, the plug don't see no drought. Bro said he gotta move, cool, show me the ins and outs. Said quick, we're in and we're out. If he's giving it up, then we're putting him down. Real trap nigga, I'm grabbing them packs and I push it around. If the line goes stiff, then I'm hitting the strip and I percolate town. Said he got bits of the loud, what bits of the loud, bro, ring right now. I'm trying to make a killing right now. Fuck that bitch, I ain't with it right now. Why this bitch wanna grab on my jumper? I thought I was a one-hit wonder. Now she calling me a one-hit wonder. I hit that once and where I went, yeah, I wonder. Bro ain't social fucker. More about these blunt replies, or these replies only gonna get blunter. Other side with some fantasy knives. Shit, you don't really wanna butt this cutter. I love going round on a gorgeous glide, trying to see a gorgeous number. My mum don't like how I play with knives. Well, I'm real sorry, mother, but I would have no joke, boy, take my life. So for now I gotta stay with my Smiles when the pack came in. Now we gotta break this down.
After doing this, I know it's not perfect. This was my first time ever doing something like this. So I'm gonna still use it. I might redo it at some point, but it's see what happens here. This is glued on there for real. The release, that's what this is under here. So I feel like it did this in that one area, and then obviously this can't bind if there's nothing to stick. It's kind of like repellent. So, god damn.
Smiles when the pack came in, now we gotta break this down. In and out with the gorgeous thing, that was an amazing round. What you do with that shit? I didn't even make a sound.
So there we go. That's what you get on the inside. It's only one layer of carbon fiber, so it's really flexible. Obviously I wasn't going for a full strength on this just because it's a diffuser piece. So ideally you would do 2 layers of carbon fiber. So I knew this was going to be a learning experience. You can see the bottom is all sorts of fucked up. But some spots like this is where a high spot came in, and then you had to sand it, so the carbon kind of got messed up right there. But this is all a learning experience. It's still usable, to be honest. If I trim this up, that'll still look good on the bottom of the car. So yeah, you can see right here, it was a really big high spot, and obviously I sanded it too much. So not gonna be perfect. Like I said, this was a complete learning experience. It was cool to see how to actually do this stuff, and if I want to end up using it, I could still throw it on the bottom of it. I think it'll still look good. It won't be perfect, but it'll look better than that painted black, I think. So this was shot 1. This is the very beginning. I'm going to get better and better each time. Stoked with how that diffuser turned out. That's the main thing I was working on, so that looks good. I'm going to clear coat it, get that back on the car. But yeah, this was interesting to do, I'm not gonna lie. So hopefully y'all learn from my mistakes so you can see what to do better if you wanted to try this. Not gonna lie, I was getting impatient towards the end. That's why some of the drips got out of control, because I wasn't watching as much. So at some point later, I'm gonna try this again, try to make a better one. But for the meantime, this will definitely work for me. I think that's the end of my little carbon fiber journey for now. Got some other stuff to focus on at the moment, so this is gonna kind of take a break. But yeah, honestly, not too bad for my first shot.